Hi guys, happy Monday. I am so excited to share with you on mindful eating because this is where most people struggle is when it comes to eating, snacking, overeating, just not paying attention. So, my name is Ashley Patrick. I am the nutrition and wellness coach. I'm going to double check that I'm in the right group again. I see somebody live, but it doesn't tell me. Let's see. Yes, I am. Okay. So I'm gonna swipe the comments. Hey Anna. Okay. So I have hockey for my daughter. It's her first day of practice after this, so I don't want to take too much of your time. And I like to keep the videos kind of short so you guys can always replay. So it doesn't get too long here. But I'm gonna share on mindful eating. So there are 6 ways to practice mindful eating. So think about, as I'm sharing these, think about you personally, because all of these are different for every person. Think about at home and at school, because you're eating 3 meals a day typically, hopefully, and snacks in between. Like, where are you eating? Who are you eating with? Just think of that as we go through this, and take notes if you need. Any comments, I will come back to and respond, or I'll private message you too. Or if you have any questions that you want to talk about, private message me too. So the 6 ways to practice mindful eating. So here we go. So the first one, mindless eating, number 1, is eating past full and ignoring your body's signals. This is the most common, especially with the holidays coming up. I feel like every time I talk about overeating, I think of Thanksgiving stuffed. Getting Thanksgiving stuffed. Eating so much at Thanksgiving that you have to go take a nap afterwards, because that's always what happens in our family. So the main way to kick this habit, and these are all habits that we may not be aware of. So the main way to kick this habit is to slow down when eating. Listen to your body and stopping when full. Okay, so slow down. It takes your body 20 minutes for your brain and your body to connect, to let your brain know, like, hey, I'm full, stop eating. 20 minutes. Okay, most of the time when we eat around here, or we go out to eat, it's like we get our meal and we're done eating within 20 minutes. So it doesn't matter if we ate the whole plate or got appetizers and whatever. Like, we're stuffed before our body has a chance to be like, hey, wait, now you're over full. Like, now you messed up. So slow down. A few ways to help. Sit down to eat. Do not walk around. Do not eat on the go. Do not eat on the couch, and we'll kind of get into that too. But sit down. Sorry, my screen is really dirty. Okay, sit down to eat at the dinner table. Okay, there's a couple things like grandmothers used to share that you need to do when you're eating, and some of these actually sound crazy, but they work. Okay, here's one of them: chewing each bite 25 times or more. So that sounds crazy to me. Like, when I first heard this, I was like, 25 times? I think I take 25 bites and my whole meal's gone. So I've been there. I've done that. But sit down, eat, chew each bite 25 times or more. Okay? That's going to slow you down and give your body time to communicate, to say, hey, whoa, slow down, I'm done eating. Or, no, there's room, keep eating. Another one, setting your fork down between bites. Okay? Self-explanatory. Take a bite, put your fork down. That few seconds to put it down and pick it back up, it's going to add time. Having a conversation with your family or somebody at the dinner table. Having conversations, sitting there, letting them talk, you talking, like taking turns. This one's kind of hard at our house just because when the kids start talking, it's like they don't stop and then they don't eat. So I catch myself often, or even at school when my daughter has lunch, she says they have like 30 minutes to eat or less, so they're gonna kind of scarf it down real fast and they don't have any time to talk. I'm sure there's a little bit of time in there, but have a conversation if you can. If you've got the time, make the time. Don't overfill your plate. I was always raised that what the food you get on your plate, you eat it. Clean plate award. You eat all the food no matter what. If you don't eat it all, you're in trouble. So go back on those habits. I have to break that one. Don't overfill your plate. Put half the amount on your plate that you think you could eat. Because there is, as long as you're like at a buffet or eating at home, typically you can go back and get seconds if you need more, right? So only put half the amount you think you can eat that you think you're going to be able, because you're starving, right? So put half that amount on your plate, eat that, do the other things we've been talking about, the other sitting down to eat, putting your fork down, all that, and then go get seconds if you feel like you still have room, okay? The second one, eating when emotions tell us to eat. I am a stress eater. I am a boredom eater. I have a bad relationship with food when it comes to emotions, and it's not always the healthy things that you grab. So this is one I really work on. So know your personal hunger signals. If you are going to grab food and you're sitting there and you don't, like, your stomach's not growling, your energy isn't low, you're not lightheaded, like you don't really feel hungry, take a moment and step back and say, okay, am I hungry, or am I stressed, or am I sad, or am I just bored? I eat when I'm in the car all the time just because I get bored, and then I'll go into that too. There's another habit that has to do with that. But step back and listen to yourself. Are you really hungry? Okay. And then if you're like, yeah, I think so, my tip that I coach everybody on is, if you're feeling hungry, drink 8 ounces of water. If you drink that water and you still feel hungry after that, go eat. You're hungry, okay? Typically, your body doesn't know the difference between hunger or thirst. So a lot of times when you're thirsty, your body just, like, your brain just tells you, like, you need something. In your body, we a lot of times just assume that we need food, when really, truly, you're probably just dehydrated or thirsty, okay? So if you're not lightheaded, energy's not low, your stomach is not growling, drink some water, and if the urge goes away, then you were probably just stressed out, sad, bored, or you have some emotion that's connected with your eating. There are ways we'll go into to deal with, like, good choices, healthy choices for dealing with stress, sadness, boredom, and that. We'll go into that another day. But there's, like, breathing techniques and stuff that I know Mallory has shared in this group. So if you want to scroll back to some videos, or if you guys can know of any on here, like Anna or Mallory, that you've seen, or any of the other coaches, go ahead and type, like, what that would be, where they can go back and check that out. Otherwise, I'll go into that a little further down the road here. And then the third thing, eating alone at random times and places. That is mindless eating. That does not help you be mindful of your eating. So eating with others at set times and places is going to help. So first off, if you are thinking at work, okay, there's a lunchroom. If you're sitting at your desk alone eating, go to the lunchroom and eat. It's going to slow you down because you're going to have the conversation with other people there, right? It prevents us from forming habits of eating, like, at your desk or in your car, standing at the counter at home, sitting on the couch. Like, if you think about all the places you've ate, do you want the habit of being every time you hop in the car you want to eat? No. Do you want to, every time you go sit on the couch, all of a sudden you're hungry? Like, that's another, you're not really hungry. It's a habit. It's your mind thinking, this is where I eat. I'm sitting down. Now I need to eat. Okay? So, and it also helps you, your mood and your sleep schedule. When you are eating at consistent times and you're not eating right before bed, or you're not eating just total random times, it helps your mood because it's balanced, okay? You're keeping a schedule, and it helps you sleep better. I have so much on sleep. I'm so excited to share with you how to improve your sleep. So that's another conversation too. But the other thing with that, places that you eat, your kitchen, or maybe your desk at work, you want to keep healthy foods accessible and kind of in front. So, like, at my house here, I like to have, like, the fruits and the veggies in the front, or eye level in the fridge. We have a snack container a whole cupboard, let's be real. We have that up on top, like, out of sight, out of mind, right? So the snack cupboard is above my head. The main cupboard that we open in is, like, where we prepare our meals, the ingredients and stuff that we use, the healthier choices. The fruit snacks are up on the top, okay? for 2 reasons. So the kids can't reach it, and so I'm not snacking on them all day. Have the healthy foods out in front. Or if you have, I used to work at a desk. I never worked at a school, but I used to work at a desk, and in my drawer, I would have snacks. Try not to snack at your desk. But if you have your meals there and you absolutely cannot go somewhere else, have your healthy meals or snacks up front. And then make yourself have to dig for the other ones if there are any in there at all. Okay? So keep them at eye level. Number 4, eating foods that are emotionally comforting. We tend to find the comfort foods, and then we tend to overeat because we enjoy those foods. So to switch up foods, and I got my notes here. I want to put them in front so I'm not looking away from you guys. Don't mind me. Okay, so eating foods or enjoying the comfort foods, you tend to eat more, which leads to eating them faster, which leads to overeating, which in number 1 that I talked about, not good, don't do it. So I think of like raisins. One of my sons love raisins. So when you think of raisins, you don't really, when I think of raisins, I don't think they're too appetizing. Like, I don't know, it's a lot of work to eat raisins, and I don't know. Well, when you eat raisins, it does take a little more time to chew them than, like, say, grapes, which raisins, grapes, we know. Okay, so it takes a little more work to chew them, which slows you down and has you enjoying your food more, and then it makes you, like, your mind stop telling you that healthy foods are just not as easy to eat. They're not as comforting, because honestly, healthy foods can be comfort foods. It's just we've gotten into the habit of grabbing the not so healthy as the comfort foods. Okay, so slowly add in the things that you can and think of them as comfort foods. Eat them like raisins to slow you down, to kind of process it a little more. You're less inclined to binge when you are eating healthier and you're eating more variety of foods. So if you have a strict like meat and potatoes meal, that's what I was raised on. Basically, every meal was meat and potatoes. If you add in the fruits and the veggies and the raisins and wherever those fall on the plan, if you add in more foods and different kind of foods than you typically eat, you're less likely to binge on them, and they're less likely to become the unhealthy comfort foods that you're always eating. Make sense? Okay. Now my list is covered. 5, eating and multitasking. So when eating, just eat. That's it. So I think of distracted eating. Movie theaters. You go to the movie theater, you get a bag of popcorn, you're watching this movie. About halfway through the movie, you put your hand in the bag of popcorn and the popcorn's gone. You don't, like, you're still hungry. There's no way you just ate this whole bag of popcorn by yourself. You did. You just ate it and you were distracted. You didn't enjoy it. It's gone. Now you're going to go get more and you're going to overeat. Okay, if you're eating on the couch in front of the TV, first off, you're sitting on the couch and your mind is telling you have to eat every time you're on the couch. Bad habit, right? Second, you're distracted eating. You're going to eat a lot more. Your body, like your mind is not connecting to your body and saying, oh, am I full now? No, it's focused on the TV and whatever else you're doing, okay? So pay attention to where you're eating, what you're doing while you're eating. The best thing is to sit down at a table and have a meal with your family, or sit down at the table and have a meal with your coworkers. For many reasons, we've been told this for years. A few of them I've shared with you today. So pay attention to where you're eating and what you're doing while you're eating. Are you grading papers while you're eating? Okay? Are you noticing your food is gone, papers aren't done, and you're going to get seconds when you're probably not hungry anymore, right? So pay attention to that. And the 6th one, the final one, is considering a meal an end product. It is not an end product. You need to consider where food comes from. So if you are looking at your food and you're having gratitude, sorry, my focus keeps going out on my phone. I'm not sure. I use my phone for this. I don't have a camera on my computer. So there's that. So consider where your food came from. You're going to have more gratitude towards it. There's actually a lot of people that just assume, or we've been so into the habit, unless you are a farmer or you like produce all of your own meals, and you don't shop at a grocery store, like you just think food comes from the grocery store. That's where it comes from. Where did it come from before the grocery store, right? So consider where it comes from, all the people involved in getting that food meal made or to the grocery store for you to take it home and make it. Okay, so think all the way back. You're going to have more gratitude on it. It's going to slow you down because you're going to be thinking about the food and being more intentional about or mindful about your eating. Consider where it comes from, who helped with it. Thank all the farmers. If you live in Minnesota here, there are farmers everywhere. My daughter has a friend that lives in a big city, and she was like 7 or 8, and she didn't know that milk came from cows. So she thought milk came from the grocery store. So that's a younger kid, but how many kids are thinking that, you know? So think of that when you're eating your food. Talk with your kids. Talk with students. You know, like, do you know where that came from? Who do you think touched that potato? You know, okay, that might gross them out, but it's clean. But think about it. Think about where it came from. So this is just 6 ways to practice mindful eating. It's going to help you become healthier, have healthy eating habits, not overeating, finding more variety in your foods, adding in more fruits and vegetables, slowing down and processing, letting your mind and your stomach communicate so you don't overeat. This is going to help you. Think about this and replay this video if you have to around the holidays, because the holiday season is coming up from October, Halloween, all the way through New Year's. I feel like most people struggle with their nutrition, and a lot of it is just not being mindful of their eating. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you have questions, let me know. Next week, I am going to share, next Monday, I'm going to share on being mindful with relationships, and that has to do at home and school. So with you, students, coworkers, spouses, kids, parents, everybody. Okay? So I'll be sharing more on that next week. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Have a good week. Bye, guys.